Hi, and welcome back. In America, the gangster is an iconic figure. For many, the gangster lifestyle is one of excitement and adventure. It's also a life of crime and violence.
Yo soy Pablo Emilio Escobar Gaviria. Haciendo negocios, así que pues fresco. Ustedes eligen plata o plomo.
The best gangster TV shows capture this dangerous world in a way that is both captivating and entertaining. Here are the best gangster TV shows of all time. Number 10. Snowfall. The story set in the infancy of the crack cocaine epidemic in Los Angeles and its significant impact on the culture as we know it follows the stories of several protagonists. These include Frank Galante, a young entrepreneur who seeks power; Gustavo Zumasaga, a Mexican wrestler caught up in a violent power struggle within a crime family; Teddy McDonald, an operative in the CIA who is running from a dark past, forms an off-book operation to fund the Nicaraguan Contras; and Lucia Villanueva, a self-assured daughter of a Mexican crime lord, is at the beginning of Snowfall. Snowfall has an 8.2 rating in IMDb and an 87% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes.
You know what? I'm rewriting the rules.
You do not have my money.
Where is it? Where's my money?
Number 9. Gangs of London. The story is set in a modern London, but is full of bloody and violent power struggles between various criminal organizations. Nevertheless, this situation becomes unsustainable after the demise of the leader of one of these important organizations, which acts as a trigger by leaving a gap in the ability for different positions to be occupied by contenders, disputing it in the strongest possible way. Gangs of London has an 8.1 rating in IMDb and an 88% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes.
You can build an empire. You can be a king.
No.
Number 7. Boardwalk Empire. Atlantic City in the early days of the Prohibition Act is a place where the building codes don't apply, and the man running things is Atlantic City's treasurer, Enoch Thompson, who is equal parts politician and gangster. Atlantic City's sheriff, together with Nucky and his brother Elias, alongside a ward manager and a group of local tough guys, makes an impression as a guy to go to for drinking illegally. He does business dealings with all the top gangsters, including Capone, Luciano, and Colosimo, and it pays off well until a former protege takes matters into his own hands, kicking off a federal manhunt. Boardwalk Empire has an 8.6 rating in IMDb and a 95% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes.
Boys, Mr. Mayor, fellow members of the City Council, in less than 2 hours, liquor will be declared illegal by decree of the...
Number 6. Narcos. Cocaine trade in Colombia and the many harrowing tales of drug kingpins of the 80s are delved into in an unfiltered documentary collection. The actions taken by law enforcement are also included, as they provide insight into the war on drugs and famous wrongful doers such as drug lord Pablo Escobar. Efforts are made to control cocaine, one of the world's most valuable commodities. Corporate, legal, military, and political entities find themselves in conflict with one another. Narcos has an 8.8 rating in IMDb and a 95% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes.
Want of money. By the way, it's all American money.
If there's one thing I've learned in the narco world, it's that life is more complicated than you think.
Number 5. Sons of Anarchy. Samcro's Motorcycle Club is a club that operates both legally and illegally in the town of Charming, Samcro being the president. They aim to organize movie production and take part in gun running, but their stepson Jax prefers the old way of things and would rather change them according to his father's journal. Their conflict has effects on both the club and their personal relationships. Sons of Anarchy has a 8.6 rating in IMDb and a 91% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes.
Always had one thing we played out together. Keeping blood and greed away from our front door.
Number 4. The Wire. The war on drugs can be viewed as a microcosm of America's urban decay in the United States, particularly in Baltimore. Seen not just by the people in charge, but also by those whose lives were changed by outflow like a drug user, a politician, the media, and regular citizens. The Wire has a 9.3 rating in IMDb and a 97% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes.
Avon Barksdale, Stringer Bell. Barksdale has 5 out of 7 towers in the terrace. That's 10 stairwells and 5 high-rises going 24/7 for dope and coke.
Number 3. Animal Kingdom. After losing his mother during a heroin overdose, Joshua Cody moves to California to live with his vivid relatives. His grandmother is his uncle's estranged mother, Janine Cody, from whom he has been spared for some time. Jay soon finds out the reason for Smurf's isolation. She and her boys have their lives through well-planned armed robberies and other criminal activities. The most renowned of the perpetrators is Smurf's 3 mentally disturbed sons, Peter, John Paul, and Brian. These delinquents also utilize drugs. In order to survive, Jay needs to play by his grandmother's rules, which involve an incestuous love. Animal Kingdom has an 8.2 rating in IMDb and 86% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes.
You remember your uncles, don't you, Jay?
Hey. Kid seems fine, but it's not a great time to have him around.
What's the matter, my baby?
Number 2. The Sopranos. Tony Soprano juggles the demands of his turbulent family with that of an fam of a different sort, a mob. He confides in a counselor to resolve his personal and professional issues, which bring about panic attacks. He does battle professional and private dichotomies, apprehension, the threat of exposure and betrayal, and a number of individuals get punched. The Sopranos has a 9.2 rating in IMDb and a 97% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes.
Marriage, or any partnership for that matter, is a give and a take.
We are a family, so we're gonna deal with this as a family.
Number 1. Peaky Blinders. 1919 in Britain was a mix of despair and licentiousness following World War I. Returning soldiers, newly instituted revolutions, and criminal gangs were all struggling with each other for survival in a country that faced economic turmoil. The strongest gang of the post-war interval is the Peaky Blinders, led by returning war hero Thomas Shelby and his family. Thomas has greater ambitions than just running the thoroughfares. When a crate of weapons goes missing, he recognizes a good opportunity to advance in the world because crime may pay, but legitimate business pays better. Trying to rid England of its crime rate is Inspector Campbell, who comes from Belfast to try and achieve that goal. Peaky Blinders has an 8.8 rating in IMDb and a 93% in audience score in Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm looking for Thomas Shelby.
Never heard of him.
Do you like this video? Check others' videos here and subscribe to be notified about our most recent videos. See you next time. Goodbye.